Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. My last video went a little long because I was a little confused what was going on, and this is kind of a, well, I guess I made a mistake. Turns out the Intellivision uses a 16-way controller. Why? I don't know. Anyway, so, couple changes in course here. Well, that, and I discovered it has 3 buttons. So the top 2 are the same, but the left one and the lower left and lower right buttons are different buttons. So, what I'll do is, this will be button 1, this will be button 2, and I'm going to have to get this back on the CNC. I'm going to put these here as S3 button. So, I mean, I just have to take some stuff out and redo it. I did a little research online, and my own research. I did research online and found that somebody else late last year was coming up with a modern version of the Intellivision controller, and I think they neglected, or you have to hit 2 buttons to get the 3rd button. I don't like that. And then it's actually turned out much better than I thought here. Anyway, so I'm implementing that, and then they must have figured out the same thing I do. You need 4 OR gates and 3 AND gates to get the logic for the corners, because there's like this whole table of what needs to be closed. So if you run all 4 directions, I'll draw it up later, but I tried it out, I simulated it, and it works out fine. So the only problem is I need 2 ICs, a quad OR and a quad AND gate, to get it to for the logic to work. So it's going to need 5 volts power, but the Intellivision doesn't have 5 volt power, and I don't like the idea of a 5 volt cord have to be plugged in to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a lithium ion battery and charger. So when you go to use a controller, you get this flip. I'm going to put a switch, one of these switches, on here, so you can turn on. I don't want to clutter the top, so I'm going to put it on the bottom. So it'll be a 5 volt switch. There's going to be your DB9, which goes out to the Intellivision, and then I got to have an access port for the for USB charging. So it's like an 18650 battery. That's what, about 7 watt hours. So it'll run those IC chips for weeks between charges, or months really. As long as you turn off that switch. I mean, you probably need to charge it like once a year or something crazy like that. So I'm going to implement that instead of having to plug in a 5 volt or USB. So you can just charge up the USB. As if I ever decide to sell this thing. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough market for it. Component wise, it's a little on the pricey side. Because I like using decent Sunlon controllers. I like decent new number pads and stuff like that. I mean, price point, I mean, I'd be competitive, and it wouldn't be a hacked apart Neo Geo controller. So that I'd have that advantage. But I mean, I'm still looking at like a little more than a 5200 controller, probably like 125, somewhere around there. But you'll end up with a nice controller. So I don't know if there's enough market out there for this. I mean, it's gonna look nice. I mean, it's all fresh cut from new plastic. It's not hacked together. I'm just gonna have this and these nice little blue buttons on here, and yeah, so I'll do that. So for now, I need to take all the buttons out. I need to get this back on the CNC. I need to draw it up. I haven't drawn it up yet. Draw this up, put it on the CNC, and cut 2 new holes right above there. So it'll give you the option. You can use all three ambidextrous. My wife is left-handed, so I always think about left-handed people when I come up with designs like this. So yeah, this is turning out to be more. I mean, this started as a personal project. That's a Freudian slip there. As a personal project, but much like the 5200, maybe this will morph into somebody. I don't know if anyone wants to buy one of these things, but we'll see. So for now, for tonight, and so I'll have to make up a circuit board for it. I got the gates. I don't have any AND or OR gates right now, so I've got 2 quad input. I have a quad input OR gate and a quad input AND gates, so that means I only need to use 2 ICs to power the whole thing up. So yeah, I'll just have a little charger. I'll have to see what I have in my work box of fun over there, my drawers of fun. I know I've got plenty of lithium batteries. It's only going to need 1 cell, and get that wired up and make a little circuit board for the AND and OR gates. So that'll be cool. Yeah, I don't know. If no one buys it, I'll just post the schematics online so people can make it themselves, or if people do want to buy it, great. Probably end up being in the 120, 130 range, somewhere in there. It's a bit of assembly work, but it's gonna look nice. I mean, it's gonna look decent. You'll see. Couple days. I'm not going to get the gates in until Friday. Today is Wednesday, so we'll get it in 2 days. So that's out, and then I'll gotta redraw, put a couple holes in here, throw it back on my my CNC I have over my other bench. Yeah, but cut a couple nice holes, but yeah, it all turned out pretty nice. I'm not unhappy. Let's just say that. I mean, I'm glad I came up with this wacky insert holder. And actually, holds in there pretty darn well. Considering it's like a 0.75 millimeter pocket I had cut in here, but kind of looks cool with the way the CNC goes back and forth on here to create the pocket. So it all turned out pretty nice. Can't complain. And it'll make a great compliment to my Intellivision too. It's the same color. But yeah, that's up to next. And then once this is done, I'm gonna go back to learning computer. I've lost my experimenting breadboard, and it's driving me crazy. I don't know what happened to it. I gotta tear apart my workshop, find that. And I'm going to get working on that mouse again. I need to finish drawing up the schematic for the rewritable card. Because that was the original goal, is to get that rewritable card. So if I can't get the mouse working, you can control everything with the keyboard, but there's just no good viable drive solution right now. So I need to figure that one out. So everyone, thanks for watching. I don't blame you if you skip the end of the previous video, because it's just kind of boring me staring at a screen. So yeah, now to get back to my CAD work and drop 2 holes in there perfectly centered, and then find a nice little spacing upwards, and then throw it back on the CNC, cutting the holes like that. I mean, I'm tempted just to use a drill, but the CNC just gives me such nicer results, so I go down that road. Alright, thanks for watching, and have a great evening.